plasticnews.com. All the latest from Hollywood, toys, gaming, comics, and anything pop culture. Plasticnews.com. Don't forget the IQ. Plasticnews.com.
He was the first person to say, we should put comic books in plastic cases and grade them. He told George Lucas to hold on to the merchandising rights, and 3 3/4 would be the perfect scale for the figures. When the owner of Playmates Toys asked him how to compete with the big guys, he gave him his extra copy of TMNT #1. He is the most important collector in the universe.
I don't always need a grail, but when I do, I go to holygrailtoys.com. Keep hunting, my friend.
Transformers, Cobra, Commander, into Sky.
I want to be just like Chet. Hey, look at me. I'm like Chet.
Oh my God, it's happening. I was as soon as I put those on while we were like waiting, I lost it. What's up, everyone? Welcome into Energon War Room number 2. We are excited about this. As you all know, this is a monthly dual stream. So if you're checking us out over on It's Chad, thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow and all that good stuff because it's free and I'll pay for it this time. You just got to do it. And if you're following us over on SKN, thank you, much appreciated. But we hope you enjoy the show today. Our show, before we get into the fan bag and start seeing who's saying what, when, where, and why, our show is going to be based on Commander Cobra issues 1 through 5, and we'll drift here and there. Chad has the best shirt ever, so we're going to talk about that a little bit and why I don't have one yet. But yeah, so hang tight. We're excited for this, and we'll be right back. And just like that, we're back. G.I. Joe. So it's been a while. How's everyone doing, Chad? How are you doing, sir? Are you excited? Are you excited for this little talk, this little round table?
Yes, I am. This book, this standalone book, this character, the reimagining, the kind of bit of old, bit of new. This is what solidified me with the Energon Universe, and so I'm super excited.
Awesome. Mr. Alexander Thunderous Storm, how are you doing?
Great. Hocked up on Energy Weeks. 6 for 6 streaming this week and everything.
Yeah.
It will not be a 7 though. but this was the highlight of the week, man, because wow, I had a chance to reread Cobra Commander, the miniseries again, and actually I ended up enjoying it even more the second time around. So looking forward to jumping into this, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's good. So I think one of the things we, as always, we want to know what you guys want us to get into. The Energon Universe is very vast. There's a lot that we could jump into, but as we stated in the beginning, we are going to head into the first part of the book. Again, if you want to follow along and you have it, we're doing Commander Cobra 1 through 5. So yeah, let's start it. I mean, I I liked what I read. I thought it was a very what I like about it is that if you can read all 5 of them at the same time and feel like you didn't read 5 issues, that's where it really like digs in. Justin says, I have not read all the comics, but from what I've read, it's an absolute fire emoji 3 times. It's weird that it'd be a fire emoji.
Fire.
Fire.
Here's the thing, Justin. 1, thank you for being here. Absolutely. 2, there's going to be spoilers. So if you're cool with that, awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely do spoilers. We have a lot of visuals that we want to just kind of we'll have on the screen to kind of like guide the conversation, but we also have the entire comic. We could pull it up if you have a favorite page you want us to show, favorite section. I have mine. So we'll get through that. But Chad,
mine's pretty much the thumbnail.
The thumbnail. Yeah.
I got to interject something real quick.
Okay.
One-Eyed Willie is asking my thoughts on Lenny leaving Hasbro. So I was gonna not necessarily spend a lot of time on it, but I was gonna touch on it tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want to get in on this.
You can. It's your show too, man. Let's roll. We got all the time in the world to do something, man. So let's do it.
I understand that. Thank you. We're here to talk about the Energon Universe. And honestly, what did this guy have to do with Energon?
Well, other than those mole rats that were half-assed versions of it, that's about all he had really to do with it, to be honest with you, bro.
I guess maybe he kind of like oversaw like a Commander Cobra figure at one point. I don't know.
I would say Night Force Beachhead is like the biggest, on the nose. This is an Energon version of a character, even though the Real American Hero collection from 97 to 2007 did have a Night Force version of Beachhead, which, everything borrows from something else these days. Let's just be honest about it, right?
Absolutely.
Thoughts on Lenny leaving Hasbro? Lenny left Hasbro.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He went to better pastures, as they say, right, boss? Yeah. So,
hey, I was we were on Instagram and I saw other people's comments and people that had dealings with him, and it's mixed across the board. And I think whenever you work anywhere, you're going to have either there's going to be a camp that likes you and a camp that doesn't. But did he do more good than bad? That's left up to everyone out there to determine. And what's it like for him being over Boss Fight Studios? We're gonna have to see, because was it G.I. Joe that made him, or did he make G.I. Joe? So now he's gonna have to prove it.
I say it was neither. So here's the thing: when you're a designer, you design what you're told to design.
Yeah.
You can have input, but at the end of the day, when 3POA had Ryan Ting on, Ting was. It was very eye-opening, the stuff he had to say, the layers of bureaucracy at Hasbro. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And so, you could be a designer and you can say, hey, I want to make this figure, but it's got to get through your brand manager, it's B.M.A.K, right? B.M.A.K runs Transformers and Joe. He has for a hot minute. He's just kind of the behind the scenes guy. He's not the face.
Yeah.
Designers do what they're told to do.
Sure.
At the end of the day. So I don't know how much input he honestly had on G.I. Joe. And then, there were some missteps that he had a hand in. Heavy duty and Metalhead's missiles not fitting in the launchers, but the blast effects do. Yeah, just leave it alone. We'll just let it go. The back blast effects on a lot of stuff that got reused over and over and over, we'll just let it go. So, yeah, just like you said, Alex, it's very much a 6 in one hand, half dozen in another.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, some people are treating it like the sky's falling and the line's going to die.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you guys a screenshot about the next. I'm going to leave it at that, right? And I'm done talking about that stuff, man. I get dragged through the coals, and then it comes up to be true, and nobody apologizes. Just fine.
Well, there's a difference, because Chad Adamus always has a pulse on the future, and if you guys don't know this right now, he's giving us the lottery tickets next week. So you guys might want to be on this, because when he said something, it does go through. And don't be mad, because it did go through.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, Crusty Old Crow, there you go. It's not Lenny's influence that Hasbro will seek to retain. They'll want his processes retained at best.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, and the thing is, at the end of the day, lines, Real American Hero lost Kirk Bazigian in 1985. He went to go do Play School Baby, and then he didn't come back till 89 to be the vice president of Boys Toys, and then he had a lot of say with people like Vinny DeLeedy and such. But Hasbro's lost so many people. So many people who are influential online. Bobby Valla. So a lot of people don't like that name, but
hey,
Pursuit of Cobra is a freaking great
name.
I
mean, like, look, at the end of the day, like we've said this a lot. Like, you can not like the name, it's fine, but you can't take away the credit. Like, that's the problem. Is like everything's perception, but facts are facts. You can't deny the impact that he had over there, and so it's hate all you want, but it literally doesn't matter. The truth is still there.
At the end of the day, as a lifelong G.I. Joe fan,
yeah,
I just want to see the intellectual property healthy.
Exactly.
That's it. 1/6 scale, 1/12 scale, 1/18 scale. I think they all should exist. I've always said the same thing. I will continue to say the same thing, and as long as they make decisions that are healthy for the IP versus abuse it and then throw it back in the closet, which the company has done historically, then it's all well and good. And if people are going on to greener pastures, that's great. I got some inside, water cooler of what went down, but that's not for here. Raw Talk Real Deal says, when that cowboy was made, you mean Sundown from Cops? That's not Sundown from Cops. I knew
totally
Lenny
different.
was leaving his mark on G.I. Joe. So Lenny's been in Joe before, though. Raw Talk Real Deal. He was the head sculpt for Taurus in the Sergeant Slaughter's Renegades modern set.
Okay.
He was also in 2 different Marvel lines, Legends, and then their older 4-inch line. And he's not the only one to do that. I mean, Bobby was Iceman, so on and so forth. Like, everybody from 82 to 94 was a character numerous times. So
absolutely.
It's all good.
That's done. And then I think you got to remember too, it's like with a corporation, let's just be honest, we're living in an era. Don't don't put your permanent attachments to it because they move left and right. It's just what they do now. No one's going to stay at a company 30, 40 years and get a gold watch at the end. You'll be lucky if you do a decade.
And leaving before the next rounds of layoffs, which are coming.
Peak.
Read the tea leaves. I don't know. Justin says a new Joe movie was announced at Cinema.
Yes.
So much. So we got Demolition Man 2.
Oh, so good,
Which the current state of the world, I can't wait to see how much further they go with that. The Last Starfighter sequel. Metal Gear Solid, Call of Duty, which I don't want a Metal Gear Solid movie. I don't want them to mess it up. I mean, a Joe movie gets talked about every 6 months. So we'll
the hint of the Transformers. And I was like, ooh, it just in my gut. I'm like, what producer are we talking about?
Well, they're talking about bringing back, Michael Bay explosions and Shia LaBeouf. So
we're gonna have to see how that one's gonna work itself. I don't know about Shy. Shy's been having a little difficulties lately.
But when he's on because even when he was like personally melting down, he still gave us that performance in Fury.
Yes, absolutely.
And to me, I will die on that hill. I was going to say fight somebody. I will die on that hill any day. That's his best performance ever. What's up, Keys? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, Last Starfighter's getting a sequel. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's look, with the technology and everything you have now, well, it depends if Paramount's going to run all the all the people. Yeah, Shy and Megan already signed on. Yep, there you go. So that's good. But we're going to see, how that technology is gone from, what is it, about 35 years now? Or is it like 40? It's been a while since that first one was out. I can't remember the time frame, but it's going to be interesting to see how the Last Starfighter pans itself out.
Last Starfighter was, I want to say 85, 86. It was in that 40-year time frame.
Yeah.
Why do I need to repent? Repent for what? I'm not repenting for anything.
July 13th, 1984.
There you go. There you go. Okay. All right. Well,
Real life fact
It
check.
was ballpark. Okay, it was ballpark.
Well, hey, look, if you know what, Chad, I can't handle. You were just wrong on the day. No, I'm just kidding. You gotta,
if you don't preface it with actually, it doesn't count.
actually, you were wrong. So, commander of the Cobras, I don't buy into movies that use LST in its title now that Hollywood is so hurting for new ideas.
Did he mean to say last?
I think so.
I don't know. I mean, it's Hollywood, so he could have meant LST. Hey, nerds, what's up?
Oh, I don't need to repent for streaming on Saturday. We do it once a month.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still like, a different point. It's like if you go to a Saturday service instead of Chad's normal Sunday services.
Yeah. Raw Talk Real Deal says Hasbro will license out G.I. Joe even more in the future as far as action figures, but soon look for G.I. Joe as a Call of Duty type of games with skins, etc. They tested the idea with Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
There's a video I did a long time ago where I talked about I forget which Call of Duty it was, but it made sense that it should go straight into like the G.I. Joe universe, and I laid it all out, and it's on YouTube, and I think people should pay attention because I really feel like it would be a very good Call of Duty type game, and I think it would be a money pit for everybody.
Well, yeah, and supposedly that Snake Eyes Arkham style from the people who brought you Arkham Asylum that are no longer at Rocksteady standby. Yeah. But my thing has always been I'm very curious because the Arkham games are very like the story is driven by narrative, right? It's very conversational. Like Oracle calls Batman, "Hey Bruce, I need you to go do this." Okay, I'm moving. Right? What Snake Eyes going to do? He's going to go.
He's gonna emote the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, now you might just text. It's like boop, thumb up.
And that's fine, but you can't just do a direct.
Yeah. Oh, also too, like, what's the problem with just coming out with a really good G.I. Joe game? This is like, how hard is that to do?
It's the same thing as how hard is it to come out with a good G.I. Joe movie?
Exactly.
Because you get these people, they want to imprint like their idea. I'm not even getting into ideologies, but like their ideas, what they think is cool. They want to imprint it in there. And then instead of following any formula, next thing you know, Cobra Commander is Duke's best friend who happens to be a captain who is engaged to Cobra Commander's sister who was a blonde when she was a good, and then it's all crap.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Yeah, a whole lot of Morse code. That's what I was thinking. Snake Eyes. He'd probably just do like a codec thing.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Well, like I said again, at this rate and everything, we just might have to just pop up on Sunday with Chad actually. At this point.
Real quick, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes. Yes, I actually I talked about this, Justin, last week on my stream on Sunday. 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific every Sunday. And I have been talking about for years how Lorenzo Di Bonaventura he's IP poison. And the fact that he's the reason why we no longer have a hooded Cobra Commander and things like that. But as soon as Icons Unearthed comes out and everybody, some people skirt around it. Other people don't. Look, Di Bonaventura is terrible. He's freaking terrible.
Yeah.
And they need to get rid. I'm sure he's got some kind of ironclad contract, but he has got to go. What's up, Brendan?
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Couple other things. Here we go.
All right.
Geek, channel member for 23 months, uses his Chad Chat trademark. This face 2024. I have to say that. Says, I love the Energon Universe. Best thing to happen.
Yeah.
That's why we do this show.
There you go.
Absolutely has been. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is the breath of fresh air that G.I. Joe and Transformers and M.A.S.K. that they needed it.
Yeah.
Mutron, also channel member for 24 months, says the Energon Universe may be great, but Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. Much love from the legends. We'll catch the replay. Thank you, Mutron. Good to see you. Okay. I just wanted to get through the members chats.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, let's roll.
So I want to talk a little bit about kind of just to start the book, just realistically, the like kind of get into how you guys felt about how they started the book and the catalyst that kind of like forced Commander Cobra into what it ultimately ends up at towards the end of the 5th issue. So thoughts on how they approach that.
I'll let Chat hit this first, bro.
No, go for it.
Okay, all right. Look, there was elements that I thought that was really cool when it came to the whole Cobra Law scenario. We really only got to see a small taste of that in G.I. Joe the movie, and it really kind of wasn't kind of explained. It was just kind of just thrown in. I like the aspect that they built into it. You see that he's obviously an outsider, but he's in Cobra Law and he's developing situations. That I thought was the strength of the book, is giving him a little bit more of a backstory that modernized it. And then there's an ad and everything. Yeah, I see it also too. Try to read that. It's you know, I thought the artwork was first time I read the book, I was like, I was shaking artwork. I read the book the other night and I thought, wow, the blending of the artwork and the colors, it's just simply amazing. But I love the opening there where he's kind of like in this diner, and it had a little Man of Steel feel to me. I don't know if you guys felt the same thing, but it felt like, you know, Man of Steel a little bit, but it worked, and it worked great. So a lot of great surprises. I think it was probably one of the best miniseries reads that I did in a long time, because it just cleanly went through it. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think?
First of all, I want to say hello to my good friend Tom Miller. I have to emulate this. Krusty Old Crow says seeing Cobra Commander in his version 4 design right off the bat was cool. That's the stuff that really solidified me with the Energon Universe. George Aiken, what's up? Good to see you. So they knew what they had, and they were like, okay, well, we're just gonna we're gonna incorporate all this stuff, and it's so seamless the way they tie all these threads together. This really screams old Snake from Transformers.
Exactly.
Right? The wide brim hat, the trench coat. Anybody who knows what you're looking at. Yeah. If you don't know what you're looking at, okay, it's the Commander out in the real world. He's trying to blend in. But those of us who remember old Snake are like, it's the old Snake look. Everything about this Cobra Commander is just fantastic. The way that they established his place within Cobra Law, where he is definitely, he's not an insider.
Yeah.
Right. He's not an insider at all. Oh, you're about to come up on that version 4. He's in there somewhere.
Yeah, he's getting there.
His relationship with Globulus. There it is.
There you go.
Hey, right? How freaking cool is that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think what they did is they found the thread that needed to exist between everything, whether it was Energon, Commander Cobra, Cobra Law, Dreadnoughts, everything that needed to exist. I think they did very well from the jump.
Yeah.
I was excited when I saw this version, but I think the other thing that they do is they do a lot of great storytelling image-wise to fill in the blanks of what you're reading, and I think that it was extremely important, right? I like the way they kick it off. I like seeing him in, he's in like the human world. He's doing everything else, but I think that when you get into just how that was like. You almost what they did well is that they made you almost kind of feel for like Cobra Commander's like, okay, I get why he's doing what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like you had this like
that's exactly yeah.
So
they established right off the bat, this is not the Sunbow Chris Latta Cobra Commander, right? This is the old school, ruthless, calculating. Cobra Commander with a thirst. He has a thirst for knowledge. He has a thirst for scientific exploration. He has a thirst for being in control of things.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this scene kind of tells you just kind of like where he's at in his head, right?
The Megatron reveal is so good.
Like how does Cobra Commander have Megatron like this? That's the part where you're just like, okay, yeah, this is not what I grew up watching on TV. This is not something that's, you know, he just, like, you have this scene where he's, I was very, very impressed with this. It really speaks to, you know, what Cobra Commander is trying to do. And then I think, you know, what triggers it is being led with deception of like, well, I'm going to send you out to the human world or whatever to kind of like continue. And then, you know, he has the whole assassination attempt where you start to see just really like how messed up Cobra Commander can get.
Yeah. And I think for me, it was interesting reading this because, like, you know, Chet knows, but I came up with Josh Williamson. We were very early on the convention circuits and comics and everything after that. So, and this is one where I was like, yeah, he nailed this, brother. Like, writers love when other writers nail things, and the dialogue was crisp. And when I saw the Megatron reveal, I was like, oh, snap, he got me on this, because I did not think that was coming. And I was like, it was one of the best page turners in a very long time. If you can get me where I'm reading, then you turn that page, you're like, oh, you got me, bro. Real good. It's just everything about the story, the dialogue, again, is crisp. It's real. It blends well together too. Fantastic, man. That first issue was like, I don't think you could make a better first issue.
No,
it just hit all the tones.
Yeah. You know what else they did really well was these are some of my favorite shots of Cobra Commander, by the way. But this interaction here was awesome. But I really liked when you got into the dreadnoughts. As I was reading this part of the dreadnoughts, like in my head, all I was doing was imagining like The Hills Have Eyes, you know, or some version of like a Rob, like
Deliverance.
Deliverance. I want to see Rob Zombie make. Well, I don't know if Rob Zombie, but I want a Rob Zombie type of movie about the dreadnoughts, right? Because like that, I think that's where they wrote it very well. So.
Yeah.
Let me hit a couple of starred chats.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Brandon R. from the Great White North of Canada says, I love the Energon stuff, except for the Scarlet. Yeah, the general consensus is Scarlet is like the weakest out of any of them.
Yeah.
They basically turned her into female Snake Eyes, really made her abilities over the top. Yeah. It's also, in my opinion, the weakest written.
Yeah.
And then Crusty Old Crow says, this is how you respect your IPs. He meant to say IPs. You modernize it by finding its new place, not ripping it apart or something else entirely. Also known as the modern day thing of deconstructing. Let's deconstruct our favorite. No, just honor them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then our good friend Jeffy says, this feels like a course correction for what Cobra Commander was depicted as in the cartoon, right? Which is what we were talking about, which is my humble opinion, was a Cobra Commander that came to mind for us. And that's why you see the old Snake. That's why you see Cobra Commander version 4. That's why you see a new redesign of that familiar Cobra Commander.
Yep.
You've got Cobra Law thrown in, you've got Megatron thrown in, and it establishes very quickly this is not Chris Latta's, Cobra Commander at all. This is not, I was once a man. No.
And also,
the fact that they make him a man. He's not a citizen of Cobra Law scientist. He's like somebody they took in.
Yeah.
And then they jacked him up.
The torturing of him was insane.
Yeah, we'll I'm sure we'll get into that.
One thing I'll give it, I was never a fan of Cobra Law in the G.I. Joe movie because it just was kind of just thrown together.
Yeah, so it's very Elseworlds.
Yeah, it never kind of like, you were like, I get the organic kind of like tech thing now as an older individual, but as a kid, I'm like, this just doesn't make any sense. This actually was the first time I appreciated Cobra Law and those characters because they were fleshed out better. And their personalities kind of really rang through almost instantaneously. I thought that was the best thing. And there's a part where Nemesis Immortal, or I believe he's Enforcer now, whatever they're calling him, that just blew my mind. And I was like, wow, it relived those characters. And you're right, Krusty Old Crow was right. This is how you modernize it. And yet you've taken some from the old. It's like they got a chance to take everything they wanted, put it in order, update it, and continue the story on. And I appreciate everything that they're doing over there. Robert Kirkman is just a masterful individual when it comes to IPs.
Even this right here. So Nemesis Immortal in disguise.
Yes.
Yeah.
When did you ever see that before? And yeah, Alex, you're absolutely right, because Cobra Law was a thing that was just cooked up for the 87 animated movie. And then they showed up in the Marvel Comics run after that.
Yeah.
And it was very shoehorned in. It's like it had no place. So they had to try to like work it out. Almost the same thing with the Deke animation episode 1 of Operation Dragonfire, where they have to save Cobra Commander. And then what do you do with Serpentor at that? Well, turn him into an iguana. You know, it's like they didn't know what to do. It screwed everything up.
Which surprisingly, after they turned him into an iguana, they put him on The Simpsons. So that's weird. Bart Simpson got Iggy, and I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Look what I got.
Wait a minute.
Kiss? Can I get a kiss? Oh, wow.
I really want a Commander Cobra like this.
Well, there is one, but you want one now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, yes, correct. I really want to see them do this, but
there is a version of Cobra Commander like this. He comes with 2 updated battle android troopers, but yes, very expensive, old.
Yeah.
And these are the things that they could just make this stuff and incorporate that into their toy lines. You could make, I still want to call him Old Snake, but you could make a trench-coated, top-hatted Cobra Commander for classified. Where is that damn Joe Baroness? Where are these toys? I know we talk about it every month, but damn it, man.
But see, that's why we're talking about it, because again, the more you start, and that's the petition we should put to everyone out there. You want to see Energon toys, start hitting them Hasbro up and saying, we want to see them. Hit them on the stream. We want to see Energon toys. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, write your local senators,
Yeah, and this I can't stress this enough. Cobra Commander being a capable soldier himself is such an upgrade. Yeah. And again, no one retreats.
Yeah.
It is not retreat. Retreat. Yeah, no, not even a little. Like, he will smoke fools. Like, he's very much the Red Army in the Battle of Stalingrad.
When he has his dramatic accident, and I thought, again, subtle part of writing where he's using new tech, and it's just that one character that just comes behind him like, what should I do with this? And you're like, oh no. And again, everything was new, fresh. Josh, my brother, you did a great job on this. It keeps working through, and every issue did like old comics did, like we wish they would do. It got you hyped for the next issue. And when I saw the dreadnoughts and the actual old cabin, you're like, oh, wait a minute, how does this go through? And they did not. The dreadnoughts are done in a very good way, very I think modernized, yet the same way, hearts of some of the older, comics and some of the older shows and everything, but unfamiliar yet to us,
Yeah. George Aiken, no, you're not the only one here that's a Red Shadow supporter. I am a massive fan, my friend. I also, when this first starts playing out, where they capture the commander and they do their thing with him. Jim Largo, what's up, dude? I'm like, wow, there's a lot of dreadnoughts.
Yes.
I mean, because you just see the couple of them around him torturing him, but there's more around. That's a lot of dread. Yeah, right there. They're all dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but there's one that's eliminated.
He gets shot in the gut.
When I read this was my favorite page. They walk in, you see him walk in just for no reason. I'm just gonna shoot this guy, and then you have
because he wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of dreadnoks, and you're like, there's not that many dreadnoks. Oh, we get to that.
Yeah,
we get to that, and it's just so perfect the way that they do. Oh, I love that one right there.
Yeah,
this one.
Yeah, blowtorch.
Yeah,
that one's
just
awesome.
Again, artwork phenomenal. The great use of like captions and everything with this.
The one thing that Energite and Classified is supposed to run side by side, the Classified team said they would be dropping character designs from the comics, but now it's up in the air with Lenny exiting. I think
they have been.
Yeah,
you know, they but it's piecemeal. That's the thing. It's very piecemeal. So
yeah. I think what I liked about this whole scene was it's kind of like we talked about, right? Like no one retreats, and in this whole thing, you just realize like Commander Cobra does not really give a shit.
Yeah,
and the fact that later on, then he's able to just get into their heads, like while he's being tortured, they're the problem. And this is like my favorite. This is if you're customized and you can make this, hit me up. I'll pay for it. But
God, I know.
This is a fantastic shot. Like,
you know,
this.
It reminds me of like version 1 of Red Hood Joker.
Yes.
You know,
here's the thing. Could you imagine if they did a 2-pack of this version of Cobra Commander in the clean trench coat and top hat, and then like this?
Oh yeah,
torn up with his forearm burned.
It would,
and forget it. Forget it.
You would have to be the first like person to get it in the first minute, otherwise it's gone, sold out.
Yeah, definitely.
But
and it's right there, man.
Yeah, people are starving
Yes.
for new stuff, and they have a gold mine going all the way back to the 82 comics, where you know, oh, there's these vehicles, or oh, there's these characters like Sparks. You could make Sparks in classified scale. Like, a lot of people don't know who he is, but put out the figures, and then you get people interested in all the stuff that came before.
True. You know, I think it's a theory of, like you were saying, when you take over a line, you know, you have a little bit of bias in your mind, because it's like, what is G.I. Joe in my mind thinking? And of course, there was that bloody smile face they put on him was nowhere near as silly as it would have been 30 plus years ago. Absolutely. I will give you that. But I think that's the problem. Guys see themselves in their version of G.I. Joe, and they're not looking at a sense like, what does the actual fans and the people that's entertaining want to see? Lenny from Motorhead.
It's Lemmy, Batstan. Lemmy, L-E-M-Y, Lemmy Killmeister. But still.
Boy, the comments are really getting it today and everything.
Hendo, what's up, brother?
That was a pretty good one, too. That's a peak one right there.
Yeah, see, and Brandon says this level of sadism is the starting point of where I want to see the Dreadnoks go. They are bad enough to be hired by the worst in the end, so they have to be really demented, in my opinion. Well, and now the comics are in the Dreadnought Wars, and that's a whole other level.
Yeah. I think this was my favorite part of issue 2, and it's just the reveal, and they did this reveal extremely right, bro. And now I'm looking at that, and I'm like, well, God, he's a better character now, because when he came out of Classified, he's like, man, I could give a rat's butt about, you know, and I didn't even pick him up and say, who cares? The minute I saw this scene, I was like, oh, man, actually, he's a pretty dope character.
And the fact that he's Cobra Commander's handler.
Yes.
You know, it's just like, okay, that's an interesting spin for Nemesis Immortal.
What was he, his handler or his soon-to-be executioner? See, that's
kind of. So he was like handler
/
bodyguard. And then what's supposed to be coming up here in a second. But this is where he jacks all the Dreadnoks.
And it was,
but it's so rad when he tears off that skin suit, man.
It felt like, you know what it did? It was like, I thought that Nemesis Immortal was kind of doing a little bit of Lorenzo from Training Day. He was one thing here, then he shifts to another thing, then he becomes another thing. Every level of it just became a little bit better when you saw it. And I thought it was a very smart shift, because at first you just think he's just regular human guy.
Yeah.
And then you feel like, okay, well, he's something different. And then he just, again, rips off himself and just goes into this different form. And you're like, I didn't know that Nemesis could do this.
Yeah, because the commander never refers to him by name before that.
Yes.
Jim Largo says, if Hasbro brings back the comic and figure packs with Energon, then folks will dive into the lore. Boop. Yes. There you go. Like all the 25th anniversary. Yeah. 2-3 packs. Well, they were doing it in the 90s too with the comics. Yeah, absolutely. 100%, man.
Yeah.
But again, takes work.
Yeah. Well, Largo should just put an application there, because I see a CEO kind of thought there. But yeah, this one, the Dreadnoughts. And then the one thing that got me, I don't know if it got you guys, was there's a one section of the swamp they're supposed to stay out of.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like, okay, like, why is that one section of the swamp you're supposed to stay out of? So, you know, they kind of did a really good job of teasing and all this, man, building things up.
And the fact that, you know, it answers the obvious question later. Why are there so many dreadnoughts? Well, they're all dead on the ground now. It's so awesome.
Yeah, and again, I know it was set up in the comments, but yeah, this Cobra Commander was the one that you would hope that you would have seen in any of the movies. It's one that you kind of thought like the redemption of the character from the 80s, because, you know, they really did kind of silly him up, and then they just kind of you never thought they were really a threat. You didn't go home like, oh my God, Cobra might win this. But this is definitely like, it gives you that whole terrorist organizational thing. Like, yeah, I could really see this now.
Yeah. And here they start discovering, okay, well, this is what Energon is. This is what Energon does. This is what it's good for. And then he starts putting all these pieces together.
Yeah.
I really want a figure of this scientist. It's just like a background figure, you know?
He's kind of also like the old Viltrumite dude from
Invincible. Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's all the same dude. No, Jim Largo is correct. This Cobra Commander ain't no used car salesman.
Exactly. Yeah, no Ponzi schemes here.
That's a double negative, but still. He is definitely not a used car salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get interesting between Nemesis and Cobra.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
that's one thing I like about the Commander. Like,
yes,
he understands physicality, but look at, he just does not back down.
Yeah, no.
I freaking love it. Like, he stands there and squares up with Nemesis Immortal.
And I know you've said this many a times, but at this iteration of him, you'll 100% know that, yeah, man, this is a guy that will wear a hood. This is the guy that is the most evil and sinister person on the face of the planet. And that's what I was impressed about, is that he's way more menacing, yet in a level of calmness with it.
Hitman Horton, 1974. What a great year. Hell yeah. Says, what's good, everyone? Late to the show, but I'm here now. Late is better than never. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome in. This is this whole thing, this whole all the dialogue that happens here.
Yeah.
And then just again, we talk about it. I, you know, he literally doesn't care. Commander does not care. Just is like, oh, okay, so you're supposed to protect me, but I guess now you're here to kill me. That's fine. By the way, if you think I'm not ready for that, check out, you know, check out what I brought to the party, which this is one of my favorite coming up here. Where's it at?
There it is.
You see him like prepping everything. He obviously doesn't tell everyone what he's actually working on, right? He keeps a lot of stuff, trade secrets, you could call it. He has a lot of trade secrets. Yeah. This scene this is a phenomenal, like, bravo on the artwork on this. Again, this is like a prime scene of telling so many things with one image, right?
Yeah. Good to see you, Bear 11 Charlie. And yeah, that's, you know, so it shows that he's always been more about the technological, the mechanical versus the organic, but he understands how to incorporate things together to make things better in his mind's eye, right? to meet his goals. And I mean, he takes the Energon, he makes use of it. I mean, look at this.
So it's so good.
And the fact that they made Nemesis Immortal talk. He doesn't just go or whatever the crap he did in the 87 animated movie.
Yeah, what they really did, what I like about everything I've read about the Energon universe so far is they took out the like. I think that they did a good job of removing the faults of a lot of the characters, right? Like Nemesis Immortal talks. We now have a commander that's like who it should be running something like that, right? Hasbro needs to commit to that hand for classified Coco. It's integral now. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get into it a little bit in a little bit, but even how he makes deals with like Destro is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. George Aiken says to us in the UK, he will always be Baron. Hey, look, I love the fact that he was Baron Ironblood first. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Denna Geek says the art style for this miniseries is spot on. I absolutely love it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Larry, what's up, man? Good to see you. And dude, the way he grabs Buzzer like that.
Yes.
He's very much the resolute Cobra commander.
Yeah.
But he just like everything about him is just dialed up a little more. The savagery, the intellect.
Yep.
Everything is just a little bit more than the resolute version. Whereas he's not necessarily threatening people all the time, but he's so freaking capable in the Energon universe. And you know, and in Resolute, like he was very cunning. You know, Duke thought that he trapped him, and it's like, nope, he's not there.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think he did a really good job. I think it was more you looked at all the different versions of Cobra Commander, and you thought, like, if I could just pull him out of the Deke and Sunbow version, what would this character be like taken seriously?
Yeah.
And then they did that and incorporated. And then, you know, we start getting in when you see Mars, and then, you know, Destro's coming. And you're like, okay, I got to see this dynamic as it works itself out here.
Everything about this shot is perfect. Menjoza, Larry Menchaco, what's up, man? Good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. But it just, the Mars updated logo, you see the snake armor in there, you see the hiss down there, you see the fangs, and it just the back of Destro, and you're like, shit, look at how good that is, man. So good.
Yeah, man. It was like it's almost, again, they just Josh did a great job of ending every issue, and it was like somebody had studied, this is how they did old school comics, this is how they got that subscription in the 80s.
And I think this scene definitely defines the fact that the hiss is not a tank because it's sitting next to tanks.
It's not a mother effing tank.
So you have the hiss, and then you have tanks.
Exactly.
Yeah, Big M, Slade on Slade. Good to see you guys.
Welcome,
thank you guys for being here. Yeah, it's freaking perfect. And I think this helps re-solidify what a lot of people never really understood, is that Destro didn't work for Cobra Commander.
Exactly.
Everybody thought that, Destro's part of Cobra and Major Blood's part of Cobra and the Dreadnoks are Cobra. It's like, no. We're going to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. House Hendo says the hiss is a LAV, lightly armored vehicle.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. It is 100% fast attack scout vehicle. That's all it is.
Yeah. But
Mercer.
There you go. There you go. And look how big Mercer is.
Yeah.
And then you start wondering,
not the classified size.
That's the one gripe that I have with I'm like, this is not the actual character size. And I'm like, how hard is it just to give us a deluxe figure with that size? Come on.
Yeah, I saw it in person at the Game On Expo in Phoenix, and just looking at that set, and I'm like, God, that Mercer sucks.
Just kills me, man.
He sucks.
You had a chance to make this character right in that form, and somehow you just dropped the ball. That's the one thing that irritated me about that. And that's the reason why I didn't even pick it up. I was like, no.
Yeah, if they hadn't used that road pig buck and made him like that fat, they could have reused that buck for Mercer. But they had to make him like intentionally like beer gut, which I get it. It's road pig. I understand. But yeah, the buck that they used for Mercer was pathetic.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Look at this. Brendan R. Classified Mercer is smaller than Dr. Mindbender. Where the hell is my screaming goat? I don't have it on here, but
I'll copy it over.
I'll do it right now.
There you go. Yeah. Make sure we're gonna pause the show just so we can get this out right quick.
Oh God, yeah. When the action figure of Mercer is as big as Tunnel Rat.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's such a dead on. Yeah.
Yeah. Buck Fuddy says I hate having to fix figures that Hasbro screws up.
Yeah.
Look, I love G.I. Joe. I love Transformers. I love the IPs that Hasbro has, but I mean, there are examples going back tens and tens of years, many decades, where they're just like, yeah, just put it out. They'll just put it out.
Yeah.
You know, you put version 2 Snake Eyes on a version 1 card back, and they're like, who cares? They'll buy it. Oh, this shot right here.
There you go.
Let's talk about this one for a second while I get my screaming goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this was great, man. This is so good.
Peak Destro, but also too, you know, again, you see Cobra Commander at this point where he's at the high. So it's like, you know, he's got his own city. He's got basically some guys that are working for him. You know, now you start to see the slow building of Cobra, and you're like, this is what it's about. It's like, this truly is an origin story. If you're going to start, you know, again, everybody says you can start with Void Rivals. If you're not into Transformers, I would tell you Cobra Commander is a must read first, because I believe that his actions set up everything you're going to see from the actual organization of Cobra.
This is all I want in a Cobra Commander, so I can pose it like that and be done. Like this
meeting with Destro is so freaking good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what?
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
I mean, look at like why. Okay, here's my problem: is like why didn't they use this for a Mercer reference when they were designing it in Classified? Obviously, he's like a couple feet taller than Destro.
Oh, yeah, he's easily a whole head taller than Destro.
Yeah. And again, it's big and bulky. And the thing that's cool too is that this is like a small suburban setting kind of scenario. And like now you're thinking about, like, you know, if they do come out this version, it all makes sense to do just a city block with Cobra Commander on it. It works.
And what's really great is like it's like lines like this, right? I allow both of you to live, and this is how you repay me. And it's just nonchalant. He doesn't even care he's being held up. He's just like, I mean, this is how you repay me. And then he puts him down. It's just, let's just have this conversation. Like, doesn't even acknowledge that the guy, like Mercer, was trying to beat him.
No. He's like, oh, you think I don't have fucking weapons?
You are here as my guest. You are here as my guests.
Yes.
Like,
hey, let me hit something super quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Brandon R says, I will be satisfied if we get this Cobra Commander if they can't give us hooded Cobra Commander.
Hey.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, when did I send you guys that screenshot?
Believe it was like, was it? Yeah, no, I think it was Thursday night.
Okay. So, whenever the conversation took place regarding the HasLab and Lenny and October Guard, once the Dreadnoks are done with this next HasLab, I didn't say that. So apparently Hooded Cobra Commander has not been off the table for at least 2 years. That's what I heard on Thursday. I was like, really? 2 years? Like, I thought it was just recent. And waiting for the right time, which could be never, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I think that's also two ways just to please the fans. You know it's up. You know people are actually keep asking for it and asking for it, and they're going around the conventions and people are asking for it and asking for it. At some time, you know, it's like I always knew the best thing about customers is what is the customer? He's always right. And I don't understand the point of just give it, whether you do it and you give, you know, it's a standard Cobra that you've already done and you just drop a head sculpt in there.
Yeah.
You're going to reuse Cobra Commander anyways, so just do it like that.
Yeah, and Brandon said, I mean, I can buy a third-party hooded head. Like, who hasn't? Yes. Right? I mean, even I have. I've got one sitting right there. So that's not a – it's just a way for them to sell a whole new figure. But, yeah, do this quasi old Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, if there's any customers out there that has done it, please post those pictures and link us on our Instagrams, because we definitely want to see that version brought to life any way possible.
Don't scroll yet, Chet. That picture right there where Destro's face is perfectly mirrored in his body. I love all the little subtle things that they do in this, in all of the series, but yeah, it's super freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, this whole interaction is like, remember, this whole interaction is going right after, you know, he threatened him. He's just like, yeah, I mean, just like, I want to show you something. Takes him to this gigantic lab.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, is like, oh, check out what I can do. After basically calling your bats pointless, right? Like, just this way, and then this right here is like, you can tell the doctor does not want to be
I love that.
Kill me.
Yeah, it's like my favorite scene. Is just like, oh, he doesn't, and he just throws him back and walks off.
He's like that female they find in Aliens. Kill me. No. And this also harkens back to the very first Marvel G.I. Joe issue #1, where Cobra Commander, like, he enacts this whole plan just so he can get the Joes in one spot so he can see them. Like, this goes back to how calculating Cobra Commander is supposed to be. And then he shows Destro, hey, you know, like your shitty little robots, watch this. Yeah, it's so good.
And okay, so when he does that, the scene that's coming up right now is just solidifies everything we've been talking about.
Yeah. Nico Tronis, who's very good at customizing.
All right.
You know, a CT Toys Gambit trench coat would work pretty perfectly. I'm sure there's a couple Marvel Legends with trench coats. Yeah. What about Hush?
Oh yeah, Hush would work.
I'm looking at Hush right up here on this shelf. That trench coat's pretty damn perfect. I could just slap a commander head on that.
There you go. There you go. Wow.
Oh, I have another Hush. I might just do it.
There you go.
Oh, but wait, I don't collect the line. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed an opinion.
Oh, no, man. No,
I'll just freaking see myself out. It's fine.
What do you even?
Hey!
What do you even, bro? This was a scene where it's like, I mean, if you just look at this, it's like just doesn't. The Shadowe Network's IG. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Jeffy's doing the Lord's work there.
He is.
Oh, just need the hat. Oh, we can make that happen. Yeah, this and Cobra Commander's just like, yay! Look what I have done. They're all just getting smoked. Yeah.
Destro's just like, you can tell even Destro's like, this guy is like off his rocker. You'd kill your own men. There's always more where they came from besides fear and hate. It's like, oh man.
That's the peak thing, man, is that everything that they did about Cobra Commander was correct. What we want to see when we were kids, like, you know, it's like, look, you wanted to see Cobra win it once. You know, it's like the Joes aren't like, you know, you're not testing them if they don't lose. They've got to come back. The hero has to have that story where he's lost and he's actually got to come back, and they don't do that enough. But this is like, you know, it's like, oh, some Joes is going to lose some things because Cobra Commander is not to be one to be played with. But also Destro just did a great job. I love Mercer in the background, but also I love that Dreadnought had a chance to get out of there. And you're starting to feel why the Dreadnoughts are always around Cobra Commander, because there's a lot more respect than actually just them paying for gold.
Yeah, exactly, Batstan. It is exactly Old Snake. It's a total throwback to Old Snake from Transformers.
Yes.
Just like one of the there he is.
This is awesome. Like, this is his response to "Who are you?" The future.
Oh, it's just
so badass.
Good. Like,
so good.
The Battle Android Trooper's like, yes, I'll hold your trench coat, sir.
See, this is why Cobra will always be better than Joe, and Decepticons are always better than Autobots. There it is. See, you have it all in one place.
But yeah, no, I think this.
I have always loved peanut butter with my jelly. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the 80s crossover comics, I've always been a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always. To me, this is like the lifelong culmination of all of that stuff.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. Mother Slug says, curious question. Has Destro ever been shown without his metal face pierced? Yes, he has.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He has been shown unmasked a few times. In fact, in the IDW Buzz Dixon, the run that Jeremy and I were going through, you see Destro without his mask for like the first 5 issues. Yeah. He's been shown unmasked numerous times. Yeah, 100%. Jim Largo says that Joe better wear their brown pants when they go. Yeah, no shit, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, House Hendo says the swagger of evil is undefeated. And that's the thing, right? Like this Cobra Commander, he understands sensationalism. Like even right here, right? He's trying to whip all these people up.
And leave it right there, Chet, because if you look at the crowd, you know, this is before there's any of the, you know, infantry soldiers and anybody that. This is like a militia. And that's what makes it real. It's a throwback to how do you start and you build an army. You start with what you can get and throw it up. And, you know, there's average people just in there and they're riled up and everything. Very smart, very subtle.
Nope. Batstan wants to know, but are the Renegades actually better than the Guardians? Just saying. Yeah, because Psykill. Right. That is 100% a Go-Bits reference.
Absolutely.
I'll get you, boy. Oh, look at this. Jeffy doing the Lord's work. Unmasked Destro. There you go.
There you go. There you go, Jeffy.
Yeah.
Love that. Real time.
100%. Yeah.
You secret became a mind. What was it? Mind, Mega Mind. Okay.
Oh yeah. So Destro is a black man given the voice, or he is white. He's Irish, or as you were Scottish.
Yeah.
He's a Scottish laird.
But there are black Scottish
James McCullen
out there,
Destro the 14th.
You know?
Yeah, he is a Scottish lord. Absolutely. They got Arthur Bergman to voice him in the anime.
Great voice,
which it's a great voice for Destro. But yes, he is Scottish.
By the way, if you do see him at a convention, though, don't ask to have anything.
Don't ask to have anything signed. It was the most expensive shock to my brain when I asked him, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm good. See you." And it was like there was like a flat fee for a signature, and then a per word signature.
Per word, yes.
So anywhere
per letter.
Yeah,
per
letter.
Per letter.
Joe Fest 23. I want to say it was 23. Maybe it was 22. The ma'am and I were there with the finest. We were in our costumes. I was in my Cobra officer. She was in her Baroness. She walked Arthur Bergman into the con on her arm because of the Baroness. That was pretty fun. But yeah, he and then he'll just start going off on these weird stories that last 40 minutes. Yeah.
He sends you a bill because she walked him in. Well, it's like $20 for every step.
No. Hey, Tom, thanks for being here, brother. Good to see you.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by, man. It's awesome.
49er Brian says, bring back Headman.
What did you guys think about this?
This is fantastic.
Oh, God, yes.
Wow.
I like that he's upset because he lied to him, yet you were going to kill him anyways. So
that little traitor.
Yeah, you're getting mad because he already knew what you were going to do.
Yeah, again, peak, again, from the 87 movie, you just don't get to see this level of corporate law. You don't get to see the society. You don't get to see as much as that you're getting in this. And so one thing that Josh and the artist did on this, they kind of redeemed the Cobra law.
And I like the fact that you see the Titans.
Yes.
Right. The Transformer Titans. And fun fact, I always read Globulus in Burgess Meredith's voice.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah. You got a point about that. It'll be hard to see that and everything. Now, here's the thing. As much as I'm sure people want to rush to see this on the screen, establish Cobra first before you start bringing in all these other outside elements, you know?
And then there's their little bug airship from the 87. Yeah. I want to see the fight. I want to see the fight.
That's it. That's all issues 1 through 5.
Did we miss the fight?
Which one?
Did Globulus and Megatron? Did we miss that fight?
I think we might have blown through it.
It's in this, right?
What? No, I don't.
No, I don't think it was.
It's not in. It's not in Cobra. It's not in Commander Cobra.
Was it in G.I. Joe or Transformers?
I think it was in
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I'll have to go grab my books, but
yeah, exactly.
That fight is so good. That fight is, granted, it doesn't really have anything to do with Cobra Commander. It's when Cobra Commander is escaping.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, like I said, you know what? This is the thing that we ask everyone to do, though, is to make sure, if you can, if there's a comic book store in the area and you're able to pick up, well, now it would be the trade, but if you're able to get the individual issues, we advocate for you guys stopping into your local comic book stores, because this is the best thing that keeps them going. This has been doing extremely well for the shops, and all that revenue goes right back into a local small business in your area. So if you guys can do that, I understand there's certain areas where there is no shops. You do have to read it digitally, but we're just asking guys, like, this is more like the Energon War Room reading club. Get in and grab the books. Put some paper in your hands.
There's a lot of mom and pop retailers that sell online, or they'll sell on even eBay. So that's how I first started this whole series. Is I scooped up a bunch of the individual issues from an e-seller, but he's a real mom and pop store. And now I go to one of my local comic stores. But yeah, we got to make mom and pop brick and mortar toy and comic stores great again. So
absolutely. Now, I know we've been talking about the toys, and one thing that I sent over to you, Chad, and also Chet knows, is that there is a individual on one of the G.I. Joe forums on Facebook. How did Globulus' eye heal? Did that ever happen, or this follows the movie, right? Or I'm thinking wrong?
No, this is not. This has nothing to do with the 87 movie. It's a complete retelling of all of it.
Yeah. But there was a gentleman in one of the groups that did a 3D print of Optimus Prime in 3 3/4 or the Lord scale. And we were thinking about this. Now, we know a 3D printer out there, and he's a pretty cool dude. He's got a pretty good channel. And I made the deal of asking him, would he design one for the Energon War Room that we could actually put on display? So he is working on that. I'll give him a shout out. Moocher's 3D print designs. If you guys don't know, he has his own YouTube channel, but also in the same way, he also prints stands and everything for your G.I. Joes, your classified 3 3/4. He's all into it, but he is actually actively working on. So since Hasbro couldn't do this, the fine gentleman on this panel is going to do it. So he's working on it right now for an Optimus Prime that will fit a 3 3/4 version of G.I. Joe.
Nico Tronus, I know he's in the chat. Nico, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you make a classified scale Optimus Prime that the Joes could actually sit in? I thought Nico did that, yeah.
Okay, well, Nico, if you did that, let me know, because I need to get your information.
Jim Largo says this Cobra Law is more like H.R. Giger style biotech nightmare. Yeah, yeah, they're definitely there. It is. Already done it. Yeah, that's what I thought. You had done it already.
Yeah. Nico, hit me up on Instagram.
CC Murphy, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man.
Yeah. But so many great things that came out of this. One thing I will say is that it was almost like again, I understand H.R. Giger. I was thinking a little bit of like Tony Stark's and the Extremis kind of like way, with the hand and the technology and everything else. That kind of had a little bit of the throwback to the, you know, Marvel movies kind of scenario with Tony Stark, especially with the feels like it was a repulsor blast or something. Yeah. That's what it came across to me as.
No, I like this comment from Commander Wolf here. It's fun to be able to talk to others in real life about things we love. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, you know, once you get off the whole social media thing and get away from the hive mind and the group think, you know, you can go into a mom and pop collectible toy store or a comic shop and just be cool with everybody, you know, and everybody's cool. Whereas on the internet, they're kind of not. So
yeah. And that's the one thing too that I do love about walking into the physical store. Does not matter who you are, what you believe in, and everything. You have that common scenario when you walk in there, and you can just find anyone that you can sit down and have a 20 or sometimes 2.5 hour conversation and not know. That's the best way to actually meet new people. Is the common love of those type of things.
Yeah. Don't go to Facebook toy groups, right?
Don't
get some
do that.
commonality with real people in real life.
Yeah.
Mother Slug says, so now with knowing that, how much does that change the story then? Did Cobra Commander come from Cobra Law? He is not a Cobra Law citizen. He was taken in by Cobra Law, and then they do weird genetic mutation crap on him, and
and I'm sure at one point too that they left room for a prequel to Cobra Commander of how he actually made his way to Cobra Law. So I'm sure they left that window open.
I wonder if he's going to be a used car salesman.
So the free comic book day version special #1, where Megatron was found by Cobra Law being frozen in ice. Then Globulus and him fight. He throws a spear and blinds Megatron. Is that what you're talking about?
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
And that's when he's trying to jump out.
Yeah, that might be the free comic day one. Might be kind of hard to track down, but I'm sure, or at least a little bit expensive, because I know those flew off the shelf pretty quick.
Yeah. Let me see if I have it. 1 second.
Raw Talk Real Deal. The Joe Transformer collabs for O-rings should keep going.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you want the bad news now or later?
No, you might as well give them to him now.
Well, okay. So the reality is, Mobat Prime and the Hound Vamp both had product numbers, and that was over a year ago, and then nothing. Yeah. When Hasbro says nothing, it's not good. So
yeah, and that absolutely and right now, I don't understand the thinking, because right now that would be the best thing to do. You've done it before. You've done the engineering on things. Yeah. You know the line, the scale works. Now you could fully go into it, and they are just 2 moments too short in thinking when it comes to that.
I always felt that the Mobat Prime wasn't a good idea anyway, because Energon was getting more and more popular, and then that's kind of their problem, is they don't capitalize on the successes. They just kind of like shotgun approach stuff. If you're gonna do M.A.S.K again with the loyal subjects, but you've got Matt Tracker in the Energon comics, which is way more popular, why did you do the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Matt Tracker if in the comics you're bringing back the Revolution Unit E black version of Matt Tracker, which is whatever? Just pick one. Pick one and figure it out. And they just everything is all over the place. Like, oh well, here's a mole rat, and Emily kept saying dark Energon. There's no such thing. Like, it's just Energon. Like, why do you keep throwing dark on there? And then they give you Night Force Beachhead, but then they, you know what I mean? When they do Mercer, he's all little, and it's all over the freaking place. Why are you doing Optimus Prime as a Mobat? Is it just for the it's all new transformation, because he was never a Mobat. Like, never. I mean, at best, G2 Megatron was a tank, but even then he was only this big, so.
And the dark Unicron or dark Energon comes from somebody was watching too much Transformers Prime.
Womp womp. Exactly. Oh wait, I got a thing for that. I put it in here. Here you go.
All right. There you go. Don't say that we don't entertain you guys.
Look at that. Is that Huffer?
Wow.
So the fighting. I'm trying to find the.
Oh, Mojo's late. What's up, bro?
Hey, Mojo. Thanks for coming in. Okay to be late. Ah, there it is. Okay. Makes all the sense now.
Terry, it's good to see you, my man. Oh yeah, where he puts his arm back on. Yep.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I think it's yeah.
Doing great jobs over there, and you know what?
There it is.
There it is. Wow.
I mean, can we talk? This was probably one of the best free issue comics ever. Like for Comic Book Day, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Again,
That fight between Globulus and his weird
wow.
buff thing and Megatron, it's
Was
so
it-
good.
So many arms on it.
I know. And Globulus, like he doesn't even flinch, like nothing, because to them this is all, you know, it's some kind of travesty. It's it's an abomination, and he just wants to destroy it. That thing takes the piss out of Megatron too.
Dude, you get punched that hard with two fists at the same time. Like he says, "You belong to me." He says, "Belong."
Yeah, that was the fastest I've seen.
Puny flesh creature. It's so good. Just to see Globulus, and Megatron in the same space, like two very like overconfident megalomaniacs. It's so freaking awesome. And even after he freaking murks his weird buff mount thing, he doesn't give a hell. Look at that.
Yeah. Wow.
And Megatron just rips it out.
This is fantastic.
So good.
And this leaves us open now. You know, Kirkman is hard at work, actually, because now Invincible is also in another season. And but he's actually working on that.
And then we move on to Void Rivals here.
Yeah. Now, what's the hope? Because, you know, again, do you think that we're going to start getting this on the screen, or do you think the little boys at Hasbro are going to put their hands in it? It's not going to be as good as the actual books.
Hidden, what's up, man? It's good to see you. Thank you for being
on, Hidden.
Okay, so Anastasia de Cobra. I think it's, you know, Mandy and I, we were talking about this. So we were watching the newest episode of Invincible last night, and then got it. Wow. God, she's so rad. We squirrel. We were talking about that, and then I started talking about how it's the final season of The Boys. For anyone who's read The Boys, I turned to her and I said, if they don't deal with Homelander the way that he's dealt with in The Boys graphic novel, like I'm going to be irritated. Like they need to deal with him. I'm not trying to spoil it for anybody. And so we talked about how Invincible's changed like here and there, and how The Boys has changed here and there. And then we started talking about, you know, the whole Kirkman-led Energon animated, and what's it going to look like. And I honestly don't know. I don't know. But everything else has had some changes. Even The Walking Dead, that whole thing with Glenn and Negan never happened. That never happened. So who knows?
You're almost nervous anticipating it, because they've got an opportunity rarely. And if they even do this in the same vein as Invincible, which let me guess. I saw that Prime has Megatron's arm.
Yep.
I'm just, if they can pull off the Invincible to this, like, you know, Energon Universe, I think they're going to have a huge hit on their hands. I think if they try to sugarcoat it and sweeten it down, I don't know if it's going to have the same effect.
Maggie and Megan? Who's Maggie and Megan? I was talking about Glenn and Negan. I don't know about Maggie.
Well, I know.
Doesn't Maggie become like his partner?
Yeah.
I don't. Look, I stopped with that a long time ago.
I stopped watching Walking Dead after season 1.
But in the comics, Negan does not Glenn.
No,
that never happened in the comics. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how Kirkman has this way of changing things from print to
film.
Whatever you want to call it.
To give him credit on that one, that might not even have been his decision, because while he is an executive producer, to give you those titles just at hand, though. But a lot of times, they make the changes because they think that season's going to work and your character should do this,
Yeah.
there are characters that are already, all right, well, we just ran through that one. I think I saw the 3D print Optimus Prime and Megatrons. It's all right. It's all right. I think it's already dead that they can't do in the boys ending. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's true.
I have not started season 5 yet.
Uh-huh.
Overall, Nico, I'm really just talking about the way that they deal with. I'm trying to not make gestures, but the way that they deal with Homelander. I just kind of want to see it go in that route. But yes, son of GTO. He says, I think I saw a 3D printed Optimus with Megatron's arms somewhere. Look, take an MP10 Prime, take an MP44 Megatron, take Megatron's arm off, put it on that Prime. There you go. I've been working on that forever. They're sitting out on my customizing desk in my Joe room, waiting. So yeah. And then you just take Megatron's faceplate off and put some wires through his eyes, throw Laserbeak on his shoulder. Bam, there you go.
There you go. Customizing 101.
I will make that video.
Yeah.
Someday.
So gentlemen, we learned through Cobra Commander, and look, I think we all essentially have said that this is a must read. If you're going to start the universe, this is probably the best way to start it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
So what do we want to go through next month? Do we want to do Duke? Do we want to do Transformers Volume 1? Should we do Void Rivals? What would make sense?
Yeah. And actually, in the chat, let us know if you guys are reading these books, what do you guys also want to see?
Yeah,
that always helpful.
I think that this is just my opinion, but yeah, everybody in the chat, let us know what you want to see for next month. But that being said, the Duke volume and Transformers kind of right.
Okay.
So I don't.
Yeah, because Duke has one volume plus now they have new issues, right?
Right.
So I think there's like one or something, but the Duke Volume 1, Transformers Volume 1 goes together.
Had that accident.
Yeah.
Man down.
Did you see that ball?
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't think we're making this up as you go along, and this is not scripted.
Hello.
Can you
You're good? Yeah, you're good.
I got you.
But yeah, I think if we did
nothing.
All right, give him a second. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you. My microphone straight just fell.
Yeah,
like ghosts or something. It just said,
not today, Chad, not today.
That's okay. I'll hold it like this. I'll be like one of those people that holds their lapel mics when they talk. Can you dig it? Anyway, what I was getting at is that Duke with the whole Starscream thing, it's kind of interwoven with the Transformers as well. So however, I see a lot of people say Duke and Transformers Duke.
Yeah.
So
okay.
However, that's going to best kind of blend.
Yeah.
So it's kind of up for debate.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I think what we'll do is we'll go over Volume 1 of Duke and Volume 1 of Transformers next month and then the ask from everybody is that come back with some of your favorite scenes from there, like what you want us to go over and talk about, give opinions on. Give us page numbers, whatever you want. We'll have them all again like we did today up on the screen for you to visually see it. Alexander does have a very great shirt.
Yes. That was courtesy of our buddy Dr. Brentley. That was one of my birthday presents. Thank you so much and everything. And also, again, if you've seen this, then you've seen it out. This is a little something that's going around all over the place.
And shout out to Ace and Ramen Toy.
Oh man. That's an out of nowhere thing, by the way.
No, it is not. Look, okay, so here's another thing.
From the outside, we knew he was working on it, right? But yeah.
So I actually, when people request to join the Ramen Toy Facebook group, I'm the one who says yes.
Oh, okay.
No. That's me.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the prototype of that thing like right after San Diego Comic-Con last year.
That's
with like he was pressing the buttons and it was going into Super Pursuit, and I was like,
wow,
dude.
Yeah.
So now that it's finally out, it's freaking amazing.
Also, what a great partner to have too, Factory Entertainment. It's like now there's that whole stream where everyone's kind of throwing things out and you hear like Night Wolf and all this other stuff. It's like, well, none of it's a no, but Factory Entertainment is such a great partner for Ramen Toy, man. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. Wait for the Airwolf.
I'm all over that Knight Rider.
Wait for the Airwolf, man.
And the Bandit Trans Am still okay. All right. Got a point.
Which I heard a story about Airwolf, and I don't know if it's true, but I've always in my head thought it was funny. But the helicopter they use for Airwolf is actually really slow.
Not only that actual helicopter itself, after Airwolf was canceled, it was bought and turned into an air ambulance, and then it crashed.
Yeah.
Sadly, it killed everybody. But it did crash. It's gone. So,
well, I'll tell you, everybody was excited about that. Ace is a very good guy. We always love him and everything. But this is the thing. It was a win, and I will tell people out here, if somebody stays silent too long, if you don't hear anything from them, then I've got to take a lost kind of like throwback to John Locke, where he's working.
Yeah. Commander
Mm.
Wolf says, I'm pissed that I backed the 1/10 scale kit from Tomy.
Yes.
Wish I had known about the ramen one. Yeah.
Sorry. When I first saw Tommy, I thought, did they kind of up Ace and he won't get a chance to do this? And then, Ace hits us and says, hey, man, this is coming. And
nailed it.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi,
there.
everybody. Happy
Hello.
Saturday.
My mic
Happy
fell.
Saturday.
Oh,
Thank you for
It
joining
just
us.
fell right off.
Oh, like it broke?
Does your dog want to say hi?
Yeah, she does.
No, she doesn't. Okay.
Come on, right here. Come on, please.
I don't know. See. Come here. Say hi. No. Sure.
Is that the one that barked earlier?
Yeah, the Malinois. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's savage.
No.
She looks pretty savage.
Ask Jeffy in the chat. Jeffy knows all about my dog.
Oh.
Everybody's saying hi to you, ma'am.
Hi.
Say hi to everybody in the chat.
Yes, they're saying hi to Odie too.
Yeah, whatever. Look, Commander Cody or Commander Wolf. I'm sorry, as you were, not Cody Wolf. My bad. One thing I'm going to tell you, dude. If you want to know if a toy's coming out, ask either one of these two, and if they don't know, pop into one of my chats and ask me.
Yes. And
I won't tell you yes or no, but I'll say, maybe hold off.
Yeah.
And I think we'll always refer like we know a guy, but
I know a guy who knows a guy. Yeah, Justin, I had a German Shepherd when I was a child as well. He was all white, an all white German Shepherd.
All right, so yeah,
fucking broken ass microphone.
I know.
I'm gonna make a suggestion that all your shows are like that. Just hold the mic.
I could. Hendo calls my Malinois a napalm Chihuahua. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's kind of fitting.
I mean, they're basically not the same size, so it makes sense.
I'm doing great. Thank you. Look, hey, the first rule of technology, kids, is that it fails.
Hey, man, it's gonna happen to go with it and everything else like that. Again, like I said, he's just what Chad has to do this. He's not one of those douchebags with a lapel walking around in the middle of like Universal Studios doing it though.
Yeah, fuck you. Mr. Lucas, the links for all the channels and stuff are in the description. And I think I put your guys' Instagrams. If I didn't, Jeffy, put some links in the chat. One of you mods, you're all here. So yeah.
Thank you, mods. We appreciate it.
Crusty Old Crow says, if I'm too loud, let me know, because I don't.
No, you're fine.
No, you're fine.
Crusty Old Crow says. I wish Ace would pick up the rights to do Tour of Duty. Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Oh, Jeffy's driving, kids. Give him a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Ace is also working on V.
Yep.
in the Lord scale.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Look, I personally wish that he didn't get burned on that M.A.S.K deal.
I mean, we would have such a better line right now.
It would have been 118 scale.
Yeah, I have one of them, and it's like, yeah, this is what it should be. Like, this is top notch. So,
and I remember we were having a lunch with Ace in L.A., and we were down just having a conversation with him, and he was saying like, yeah, I think that the M.A.S.K thing, and I'm like, bro, if they don't, I don't know, I don't see anyone logical that's not giving you that license because you're killing it right now, and I think you're working. And then I heard the little subject and say, wait a minute, those guys that all their stuff is usually at Ross? No.
Oh, it broke. Yeah, it slid off.
That's Well, there you go. So like, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do the It's Chad Mike fun.
I got it. I'm fixing it. Just keep talking.
There you go. But I really think that Lowell Subjects made a terrible mistake. I've seen Wave 2. Chet and I, we've had this conversation. If you're not doing anything to further the line, then all you're doing is basically just doing the same crap that we've already seen rehashed. Then in the same scale. And the problem of it is that you couldn't even do the line without like the technology and everything else. Cool, sure. Thank you, Hidden. I appreciate that, brother.
Chad, the crusty old crow wants to know. Need to know what brand of mic stand was that? Oh boy,
dude. But it's one of those things where I've heard, like, before we were thinking about purchasing it, then we started hearing people, all the QC, like guys, like I took it out the box and it was like the spring was already broken out of the box, and like people were talking about it snapping and all these things, and I'm like, so how did they? And this is kind of like the Iron Man, where it's like Tony Stark was in the cave. Well, in the 80s, they made this thing and they did it right, and those toys are still functional and working. And it's new age, new technology. Things are supposed to be better, and you still can't get this right.
Hey,
there you go. There you go.
Hey, he made it.
There you go.
Yeah, well, we were having the conversation with Ace about it too, and Ace was like, "Well, the difference is that Loyal Subjects is reverse engineering it, and I'm just building it. And when you reverse engineer it, you can't make it work the right way. Yeah, cheap nowadays. I had pre-ordered Rhino, that whole whatever it was, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive one, and then I started seeing everybody get them, and I was like, I have the real thing with everything in that pack, and so there's no desire for me to buy it if it's going to fall apart like that.
You're talking about the black and gold one?
No. They did the one that came with
T-Bob.
It came with a T-Bob.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, now I don't have a problem buying anything that Ace makes because it's a different size and it works.
Name. Yeah, Hal says point about that. Whole subject's only a name.
Yeah, Son of GTO says a friend wants me to buy the Loyal Subject M.A.S.K stuff, and I keep telling him you don't want it.
No.
Look, I always share my personal opinion, and my personal opinion is if you like M.A.S.K so much, this is just me. This is one guy's opinion. One, why don't you already have it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And two, if you're so into it, just get the OG shit.
Yeah. Just go to any local show, track it down, and actually you're going to enjoy it a little bit more because it's all about the hunt of it. And I remember when Mr. Max used to live in Georgia, and I was out here, and he was looking for more M.A.S.K. And there's a place out here called the Retro Store in Temecula, California. And I just so happened they came across my Instagram, and I saw that they had some pretty clean M.A.S.K stuff. So I walked in the store, and I'm telling them, like, all right, there's a good chance I know a guy. He's probably going to buy all this stuff. And the guy looks, yeah, sure. Come on, man. I'm like, no. If it's good, if it's clean, he's probably going to buy it all. And I think you got the cleanest Rhino, I think Outlaw, and a couple other things. And
I literally bought everything he said he had. I bought.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, just hold it for me. And then I'll get it when I move back to California. But it was like the Rhino that I have looks like it was never used.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, and I think Commander Bly brings up a good point. He has the Loyal Subjects Condor and there's no complaints. And that's the thing is, like, it's not really, the issue isn't really with the smaller pieces. It's when they get into the bigger ones that, like, the bigger ones tend to fall apart. The one thing I will say that I do like about Loyal Subjects, and I wish that they would do them on card, is I like the figures and the things they added to the mask. I think that's cool. I wish they would add like come out with like carded figures, but outside of that, I have no desire to buy them.
I'm trying to highlight other. Thank you. I'm trying to highlight other chats, right? But I just got this hand done.
There you go.
And the dog, like, she just smells it and she wants to like put her face all over it. And I'm like, get off my freaking hand, man.
You could take. I'll take over a chat. You can.
No, it's
pet the dog.
It's all good. Oh, she needs to go away. I like this comment. New remade toys are like rebooted remake movies. Originals are always better. Why remake it?
Exactly. Yeah. I give you that, man. Absolutely true.
I understand there's always going to be extenuating circumstances. Like, I think that Mattel doing a new Eternia was cool.
Yes.
Because the old one, I mean, the tracks are super brittle. I always said Hasbro should do a new Defiant because the old one, like, it literally buckles under its own weight. My tracks are like, they're just bowing out. It's a very heavy toy, but you can still get the original Eternia if you want it, you know. But I just them coming out with those mass toys with the QC issues is not. It's just not a good look.
Yeah. And for me, again, if you're gonna, don't just do what's done before. Do some of the unproduced vehicles. Add to the line a little bit more.
Okay. I'm still sore Vala couldn't lock down Exo Squad. Yeah. Here on topic, Jim Largo says it will be interesting to see how Miles Mayhem uses Energon and Transformers tech to create mass vehicles. Do you guys want to? Anybody want to?
Hey, issue 20 of G.I. Joe. You might want to just pick up that issue because you'll start to discover that
General Hulk and Miles Mayhem, they freaking. If you guys liked seeing Cobra Commander and Nemesis Immortal like face to face and their little freaking like size comparing standoff, wait till you see Miles Mayhem and General Flag.
Oh, that was
so good.
Textbook military efficient.
Oh God. They do such a great job, like in the G.I. Joe run, like fleshing out a lot of the characters. Yeah, General Flag, like he was important in the original Marvel run, you know, and then he got gone, you know, somebody deleted him, and then he had an aircraft carrier named after him. But in the Energon universe, he has a lot more to do, and his relationship with Miles Mayhem is really getting fleshed out.
And I will tell you this too, just on the atmosphere. If you watch Rise of the Beast, Transformers, it almost, now you can see it segue. Like if you just had a competent producer that ran that franchise, you could actually see it working.
Yep.
You know, but you know, this might not happen. So
I will show one thing that I think sums up General Flag and Miles Mayhem.
There it is. Sir Green, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, welcome in, brother.
The Shadow Watch,
Green Lantern,
Underground, yelling at each other, and then General Flag just shuts him up.
You feel that? It's so good.
It works right in.
And Flag just rocks him.
Yeah.
I freaking love Flag.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so good in that. It gets even better, man. The way that they're integrating all of the Energon into M.A.S.K and what they're actually doing in this. This issue, the issue that'll kind of give you a big understanding of like what that is issue 27 of Transformers Unijon.
Yeah.
So it's really good. It picks up, and then you start to see Matt Tracker, that whole. So it gets. It gets a little wild.
I want to see Brad Turner, and I want to see them do him justice, you know, kind of make him like rock and roll was, you know, just make him like, you know, because Brad Turner is like a rocker dude.
Yeah.
Mother Slug says, curious question, may or may not know, but when did action figures disappear? I remember action figures meant the figure had some kind of working action or something missing nowadays. You talking about a play feature? When they stopped making toys for kids and started courting adult collectors, because adult collectors don't care about
action features,
toyetic shit like play features.
Yeah,
I do. But
I think Playmates did that the best in their GM&T run. You had like the pizza shooters. You had like basketball throwing, everything you can think of.
Well, yeah, and Joe had like water shooting stuff, especially with like Eco Warriors and things like that. And then you had the supersonic fighters. Ghostbusters had the fright features, which to me that took away from the play value of the figure, because if you didn't have the the fright feature, it was kind of like the old Superpowers line. Remember, Red Tornado. If he wouldn't tornado anymore, like you couldn't really move him. So, yeah, and then you had like Lex Luthor punching himself in the face and shit.
Yeah,
just weird. But what should Paramount Skydance do with Rise of the Beast character Noah Diaz? My opinion, it shouldn't have been Noah Diaz.
Yeah.
Because like you just made up a new character and now you're gonna bring this guy into G.I. Joe
But imagine if it was like, like, a Joe named character, you would have almost gotten that from the beginning. If you're truly into the line, if it would have been like Hauser or something, we would have sat there and said, wait a minute, is that Duke? So.
Do you guys remember when the Bumblebee movie came out and everybody said that John Cena was like Hawk or something? It's like, no, he's not Hawk at all. It's like, calm down. Real quick, I got to give this to Commander Bly. It's just...
There you go. There you go.
Give you that slightly canted for maximum.
There you go.
Danger.
Yeah. And I know Bly was definitely getting into the Energon Universe. He told us that, so I'm glad to see you here, Bly. Yeah. But that's actually Flag. Or is it? He's doing some remarkable stuff. You never know.
Yeah. Son of GTO says, I have to get an Operation Monster Force General to make General Flag.
Yeah, true. Which again, some of these legacy characters they should be doing. Whether you do it in retro pack or whatever, you should be having those characters come out. There's a lot of characters from the Real American Hero days that were just maybe in one or two scenes that we would love to see.
Yeah, I took a Class A suited officer from Marauder Gunrunners, and that's how I made my modern General Flag.
Yeah.
Commander Bly says, I'm glad to see the gimmicks are gone personally. Yeah, see, there you go. Sure. But here's the thing. If you like play features, if you like all the toyetic gimmicks and stuff, those toys are still out there. You can still get them. So, There you go. Action became articulation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You might have to blame Tom McFarlane on that one.
I am more art over articulation any day. I want to see like good sculpts, good paint apps more than I want to see like all these different shoulder cups so they can, do weird articulation stuff. Because to me, it once you start taking away from the anatomically correct visage of a figure, it was like, oh, every figure needs to have butterfly elbows and knees. It's like your arm doesn't bend like that. Like your arm bends like this. In like a V, it doesn't bend, right angle. I get that people want all the articulation, but I'm like, at some point, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
That's just me. But
sure. Yeah, you can over articulate anything, and sometimes the basics work. Just get us the character sometimes. A friend of mine made me a Kill Hall that looks like Charles Bronson. Oh, that's a pretty damn good one right there. I like that.
That'd be cool.
That. Yeah, we don't talk enough about Charles Bronson either. He doesn't get a lot of shake anymore, man. But I dig his movies in the day.
Yeah, Death Wish. Right? House Hendo says YouTube is on that bullshit. I'm not loading my chats, so I have to rewrite it. Damn, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Copy and paste.
Mother Slug says action feature on a figure was the highlight of what a figure was. If these companies forgot how to do it, that's the second thing lost, never coming back. First was cartoon 80s hand drawn.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna
Yeah,
see no
you're
hand-drawn
not gonna
stuff anymore. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
especially with Disney's Bloodbath the other day. You're definitely not gonna see that anymore.
Yeah. Crusty Old Crow says butterfly joints are good example. Great to pose arm hurts the details of the chest.
True. Again, you can over-articulate anything if you get enough time and effort and everything. Oh, I'd love to put them in this pose, but does that work really? You know.
And then Sir Green Lantern says, agreed, careful. It's an inconvenient truth that figures are wanted first for looks.
Sure.
And I've always been a fan of there's a flavor out there for everybody. You know, I have the original Tonka Go Bits, you know, that I'm not looking at Bike Robo, I'm looking at Psykill, but then I also have the 9-inch Revenge of Kronos with the magnetic faceplates and all the blast effect. Like, yeah, I mean, if you want it, it's out there. That's why I'm a huge advocate of mom and pop brick and mortar collectible toy stores.
Absolutely.
You can find modern shit. Hopefully they got vintage shit. They got, you know, different flavors for everybody. But, James Lucas says, I wish classified sci-fi had better articulation. I can't get him to hold his weapon with both hands. Yeah. I've heard both that he can and he can't. So
yeah, I usually there's a couple of classified characters it's hard to actually do that on too. Some over articulated and some just work perfectly. So I don't know if that's a quality issue or
I have the original 80s Real American Hero sci-fi. I always loved him as a kid. Granted, Flash will always be my first laser trooper. And I have the 30th anniversary / Pursuit of Cobra sci-fi. Shout out to Daryl DePriest and Bobby Valla for that, because that figure is perfect.
Yeah.
He's freaking perfect.
I've got the sci-fi. I picked it up at a again a local toy little show and everything, but he's sitting right in the case with the vintage. So, you know, great character, great look always. And I loved him in the Real American Hero show too. So
Mother Slug says if someone would just add thin plastic over all those joints like a skin, everything would look great. I said it first. M.A.S.K.
M.A.S.K does it all the time. Yeah.
I have the M.A.S.K 112 Destro courtesy of Yojo Jerk. He sent it to me as a gift. It's in my office at work. That figure's freaking awesome, dude.
Also,
but yeah, FYI, like their clothes cover all their gnarly joints.
FYI on that figure too, it's under $40 on Amazon. Take a look at that. You want to pick up. That's a very good version of Destro. You want to pick it up. It's at an all-time great price now.
What do you guys think about this hot take from Crusty Old Crow? I want Micronauts back. Hey, speaking of 80s G.I. Joe, I feel like that market is there waiting, and maybe Energon Universe can make it happen.
Don't count them out.
Maybe.
Do not count them out.
Maybe.
but Super 7's doing Micronauts at the moment, right? Or whatever the reaction kind of, you know.
Who freaking knows?
They're attempting to put plastic on the market and call it Micronauts.
But we talked about this a month ago on the first episode. You know, when do you cross that invisible line of death where it's just too much? When Energon just becomes the kitchen sink. You know, bringing M.A.S.K in, well, that makes sense because their vehicles transform, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. But when do you hit that like revolution thing where it's like, why is Rom here? You know what I mean? Or like there's some weird shit like, okay, there's a visionary now. So I don't
visionary.
I think that some stuff makes sense because it has to fall into Energon. That's why it's called the Energon Universe.
But that's a good thing about like Robert Kirkman being like the steward of this. I think there's a level of a pushback. We're not going to just do something that you think is great that was put into an actual book. It needs to make sense for the story, why we do it.
Reza Kai says, I add heat shrink tubing over the joint sometimes on my 1/18 scale vintage collection Star Wars figures.
Okay.
It works so.
All right.
right. The Mezco Destro smiling face is scary. Yeah,
It is. It is.
I didn't use that bullshit.
All right, gentlemen. Well, like I said again, any other points and questions and everything? Anything else that we want to hit, or should we start saving things for episode 3?
Yeah, we're gonna need to keep some stuff in the bank for episode 3. Who got Exo Squad?
I never owned
Hasbro
that
owns Exo Squad.
Yeah.
Because Hasbro swallowed everything up.
Dude, there's so much stuff.
That or Mattel, either one.
You know who's got Exo Squad? I got Exo Squad because I fucking love Exo Squad. I got all that shit. Sam Newsman, what is up? The most trusted puppet in media. Playmates.
What's going on, Sam? Does Playmates? Hold on, I need to check that. I need to fact check this. Let me check.
I don't know, man. Jeff might actually got a pulse on the finger on that one, man.
I don't know. Jeffy's sly. Is the Hiss a transformer? If not, why are they waiting? Perfect vehicle to do so. They made the Megatron Hiss in the
Baroness.
With the Baroness in the Transformer G.I. Joe collab. As far as Energon is concerned, they take Starscream's torso and chuck it on a Hiss.
Universal Studios owns all the rights to everything regarding Exo Squad.
Weird. I thought Hasbro scooped them up in an acquisition.
Well, that one, Universal is going to hold that till the day that company goes defunct and bought by somebody else. They're holding that close to the shelf.
Who remembers Supernaturals?
Oh, I remember Supernaturals. Yeah. Great line.
Oh, okay, hold on. So Playmates designed and marketed the original figures. Then there was Replay Toys, and then there's rumors that Nacelle has it now.
Nacelle. There you go.
Okay. All right.
Old Brian there. Universal still owns Playmates. I was right. I was right. Look at me. I'm fucking right. You know what? You know what? You get Jeff. You're gonna get this, Jeff.
As I said again,
Nacelle, not the property.
Yeah, we'll have to see Chet. Jeff was right. That's what I think. That's what said Jeff was right.
Gideon wants to know, does anyone remember the Cobra Spider Cat? I remember the Cobra Crimson Attack Tank. What's a Cobra Spider Cat?
I'll pull it up.
That sounds like that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like. That's that bullshit. I'm going to put that sound clip in here too. Interesting. You would think the Hiss as a transformer would be like a battle android troop builder. What you do is you get one of those Imperial troop transports from the Mandalorian and you make that into a battle android trooper transport. Just saying. Dene from Tough Nerd. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Oh, that's custom. Yeah, it's just a okay.
Okay. All right.
It's a Pursuit of Cobra retaliation Hiss with some shit on it.
A whole lot of stuff. Wow.
With some shit on it. Coming soon to Chad's Fourth Wall store. Jeff was right. No,
I think so. I think we got to do that. No. You think it's just too much? If you do that, then it's a constant reminder. You'll show up to shows with that.
Not gonna happen. I miss toys with holograms. Yeah, visionaries.
Give them some time. The old Secret Wars, the regulars.
Joy Toy needs Exo Squad.
Oh,
that'd be great. You know, Acid Rain makes amazing mech figures. If you guys want mechs, Acid Rain is insane.
I can't. I have the Joy Toy mech phase, but I use them as like displays for my figures because they're great. They're modular. I won't get into the mechs because once I get into like the 1/18 scale mechs, it's over. It's done. I'm screwed.
Yeah, especially if you decide to be unintelligent and buy Acid Rain, because Acid Rain is so good that you're just like, all right, Acid Rain prices are insane, but holy Christ, they're amazing figures. So,
according to Rezakai,
Cobra
the next classified HasLab is a 6-inch scaled Cobra Pogo. Hasbro assures me it'll back fine. I'm going to say that's not accurate.
They're going to aim for at least 3 more than what they got for Tron.
I'm telling you, that first Hasbro 375 initiative right out of the gate, it should have been masterpiece scale Megatron with the arm interchangeable. And like I said it last episode, and that shit would have printed money.
Yeah, I don't know. They're going down a slippery slope with that Tron thing. I know they're trying to make it happen, but I don't think it's going to happen well for them.
Yeah.
What's this? Oh, so Mother Slug calls me Loveless, Dr. Loveless from Wild Wild West.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
No. Yeah. Pogo is a no-go. Look, it was great as the Invader. Yeah. It works great as a space vehicle. As a ground combat vehicle, it sucks. Hendo says got some dope 118 mechs in the stash. I can't. I can't.
Yeah. Son of GTO asked about if Acid Rain is going to do mech suit in 6-inch. So the 2 figures they just released recently, I got, and one of the guys comes with an external mech suit that you could take off.
So like a power armor, right?
Yeah, it's like an exoskeleton. It snaps onto him, and it's extremely articulates with the figure and everything. So it's kind of wild.
Gotcha. Andy Can't Spell says gonna have to catch a replay doing that work thing. Thanks for coming in, Andy. Appreciate it.
That's a really well spelled out.
I was thinking the same thing and everything. I don't know who told him that because you can spell them fine.
Andy, you can spell just fine. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Hey, we had almost 80 people.
I saw things.
We had almost 80.
Thanks for everybody coming in and everything. And that's the thing. Again, want to advocate if you're in your area and there is a local comic book store, please go to your local comic book stores if you can. We understand certain places there aren't, but if you do, walk in, pick up trade paperbacks, spend your money there. If you're getting new issues, if you can only do it digital, fine. We want you to read what you want to do, but we're advocating that. And also, like Chad said too, if you want some stuff, go back to mom and pop. Some of these great little toy stores, pick up some of these items. You want the true mask, you can go get the true mask. If you want to get some vintage Joes, then there's a lot of great shows that's popping up. I know we've got the SoCal Joe show, but you've got one where you're doing a swap meet at, right, Chet?
Yeah, DFW GI Joe show. It's coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So what's this swap meet entail? Is there like rules or regulations? You only bring Joe and Action Force, or
no? It's any and everything. Superpowers, McFarlane, like whatever. If you want to bring stuff to trade with other people, just bring whatever you want. The rule that was kind of loosely set up, hang on one sec, Chet, was that like one tote or one box, because some people were coming from the showroom floor with like tons of shit. So yeah. Sorry,
do you allow Super 7?
Yeah.
I have a whole tote of reaction figures I think people are really going to enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever. It's all well and good. Here's a question for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would feel remiss if we didn't hit this question because everybody, like, I want to see everyone say stuff, right? That's why I'm always behind on the chat. How should Skybound handle Iron Claw, Action Man, and Sergeant Savage?
What do you guys all right, I'll give mine because the Hitten and I've had deep convention conversations when I've seen them. Sergeant Savage, I don't know if they're going to risk Sergeant Savage since he's basically a little bit of Steve Rogers. I don't know if you're going to see that character again. Action Man, I do think they should actually, bring him into the fold somehow. Iron Claw is, I think you got another fraction that I think you can do. And look, at one point, I think they need to throw some throwback comics to the original Adventure team. So I would love to see, like, the Energon Universe Joe in different eras. So, but Sergeant Savage, I don't know. I think that's a slippery slope that they get into with that character. That's my opinion. You gentlemen?
Chet?
I honestly don't know if I've really thought about this, but I I would agree with Sergeant Savage, very much so, but I haven't really put a lot of thought into it. I mean, I don't. There's no reason why I would think about it if they're not going to think about it. But we'll see. They have a lot of stuff they need to work through that they can work on, bring to life, fix, update, do whatever they need to do. And I think they should focus on some IPs that are probably have potential to make the money. I don't know. I don't really sit anywhere on this fence. So
the thing about Sergeant Savage is it was a love letter between Kubert and Kirk Bazigian because of the whole. There were rumors that Arnold Schwarzenegger had signed on to a Sergeant Rock movie, and they wanted to beat them to the punch. That's when Hasbro was willing to take risks and do all the stuff. Sergeant Savage was pretty much murdered by Ginger Kent and Alan Hassenfeld in 1994 with everything else that was G.I. Joe. And it was part of a Real American Hero. It wasn't to compete against Real American Hero. The thing with Savage is, he's just way too close to Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And now that the MCU got real popular, Chris Evans completely immortalized Captain America. I don't know how well Savage would go over.
Mm-hmm.
And, G.I. Joe Extreme just killed Sergeant Savage. Like what they did to him in Extreme was unforgivable, worse than Lowlight version 3. And do I think that Kirkman and his team are adept enough to incorporate Savage? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I think you would have to make it something like the Screaming Eagles is a sub team, just like Night Force with Beachhead and Flint and all of them. Once we start getting into the Joe part of Energon, I think they could do it. But I don't think you can do the whole super soldier thing. I think you would have to leave the whole everything that was borrowed from Captain America needs to just stay out of it. Yeah. I think you could do Savage, but you would have to change him enough. Yeah. That's just my thoughts on that. Iron Claw, he would kind of have to come with, but Action Man, I don't know. Because then this is that whole invisible line of death conversation. When is too much? Because then you're like, oh, well, then where's Adventure Team? Oh, fucking A. Like, and then it's just, no, you get in the whole Masters of the Universe snout spout shit. I just, see, look.
I know right there. I know.
No. Yeah, and see, that would be cool if they incorporated Savage but made it in the past.
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't know how they could do that.
They could bring him in as like he was in a frozen bunker inside Energon Universe. So they could technically
Cobra Law had him in stasis from World War II.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying is like if they wanted to they could do that. They could say that he is like probably like a mentor to Duke, maybe, or I don't know where they would. I don't know where they'd play it, but if they wanted to bring him into it, the Energon Universe would probably be the most ideal situation. And you again playing off of frozen bunker something, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of ways that they could. I would leave the Captain America shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. One comment, one question, and then we can start wrapping it up. Look, I got to give this dude props. Bear 11 Charlie. He has been slowly but surely collecting all of the vintage Battlestar Galactica shit. And anytime he would get a new figure or what, he would send me a picture. I'm like, dude, yeah man, come on. Because those smaller lines, like, you can complete it. Not that hard. House Hendo says, I'm still interested in those 1/18 scale Action Force. A certain guy who runs a certain toy company and I had a conversation about that just yesterday.
Really?
I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah.
You know a guy?
You know a guy, or is it a trust me bro? No.
What do you think?
Yeah, there's two different ones. I think this one's a guy because it's definitely not a trust me bro.
That is not a trust me, bro. No,
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a certain dude about this.
We just got to clarify. There's trust me bros and I know a guy. So there's two different stories. Here.
It's usually not a trust me, bro. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank God.
A lot of people like to say I'm full of trust me bros, but that's fine.
Yeah.
James Lucas says, anyone know a good place online to get digital G.I. Joe Skybound comics?
This would be in Mr. Maddox square right here, sir.
You should look and see if they have it. If they have like,
hey,
why am I so jacking? No, we get you can see there's usually some subscription based stuff you can sign up for. You can buy them. You can buy them digitally. I think Skybound has their own app, actually.
I think too. Also, is Neon Ichiban? Do they have Skybound is there? I think over as well, right?
I think Neon Ichabod. So for people that don't know, Neon Ichabod is the guys that created
Comixology.
Yeah, Comixology. They started Neon Ichabod, and it's actually really good. I don't know if they have it on there yet though. But yeah, I would just check Skybound to see if they have anything digitally.
There you go. From Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very many ways. There's very rarely the way.
Yeah.
Big fan of that statement. K-Mac, it's good to see you, my dude. This is going to be our bookend. This is going to be the end of today's stream, and then we'll see you all in a month.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, who is the worst G.I. Joe character, and why did you pick Dial Tone? First of all, Dreadnought, I will fight you. I like Dial Tone a lot. He's way better than Mainframe. Who's the worst Joe character to you guys?
Oh,
and then we'll call it.
Man, he's got to hit us. I wish you would hit me in the beginning of the show so I could think about this before the end of the first one. Oh man, damn.
It's not Dial Tone.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It is not Dial Tone. I think Dial Tone is an upgrade from Breaker.
Scoops.
Whatever. Scoops. Okay.
Scoops. That's such a face on that one.
The sculpt of the figure is amazing. The colors are freaking stupid, and to call a Flame Trooper Ice Cream Soldier is retarded. But when they did him in green and black, he was freaking awesome.
I literally was gonna say Ice Cream Soldier, but
thank God now.
Banzai.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say Super Joe.
Super Joe. What about DJ?
No. Look, there's a lot that aren't stellar. But, no, Firefly's not Joe. He's a Cobra saboteur. We got asked
Come
Joe.
on,
yeah, we got to ask Joe.
Somebody mentioned Dial Tone.
You could do. You could say Captain Gridiron, maybe. I guess. How many figures of Captain Gridiron did they make?
Look at fucking Sundown.
Dreadnought is hitting the cold, bro. Well, it hasn't even came out yet.
It's still shit. It's still shit. Come on, that thing is shit. That's like you take a little Brave Star, and you take the little Cops, and you take the little Marvel Legends, and you.
It's like Dreadnought. He just left. He just left Marvel. Can you give him 2 weeks before you do something like this?
I like Night Force Psycho.
Yeah.
Psychological warfare is it's Star Brigade. Everyone get bent.
Wow, Christy, going real hard
actually, in the Sigma 6 cartoon, actually, Firefly was a Joe that went to the dark side. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, well, you could say Sigma 6 good guy Firefly. You could,
there you go. There
you could expand on it.
It does.
You could expand. Yeah, I'm gonna say Super Joe.
Okay. All
right.
So we got Scoops from the Deke era, Super Joe, and Mr. Max still thinking about that. What did you say, DJ?
No, I was gonna say Ice Cream Soldier.
You're pushing that DJ shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ice Cream Soldier, but DJ is definitely like a close one. I got maybe like Toll Booth, but no, I think man, Steel Brigade.
Mother Slugs hitting it hard with barbecue or shipwreck, I will say.
Steel
Wow.
Brigade?
Wow.
No.
Mm.
Wow.
Fucking Jeffy said Snake Eyes.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Banzai.
Yeah.
That works. All right. Well, how about this? We'll start off next show about our favorite Joe.
Easy.
Yeah.
Sundown.
Easy all day.
Sundown.
Unsubscribe. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, already answered for
So we hit that up next show. All right. Got another stream popping up and everything. If you guys got another opportunity to watch this great individual on our screen, it's Chad tomorrow, sir. What time does it start for all the people out there so they can come in and tune in and get your seatbelts ready? You might be moving.
Yeah. 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific will be the public stream. I always do a private channel members pregame, and that is at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. But yeah, so I don't think it's a well-kept secret. We're going to be talking about the canon films. You know, back when men were men and men were allowed to be masculine before all this toxic masculinity crap started coming into our hobbies and cultures and stuff. So we're going to talk about masculine cool shit, ninjas, and
are you gonna kick it off with Commando?
Commando is not canon.
I know.
So no, I'm not. But we're going to talk about the canon films, but it's really going to be about action figures that Bobby Vance from Lone Wolf Toys and Matt LaCroix have made of those characters. So we're going to look at like action figures of Marion Cobra Cobretti of the LAPD Zombie Squad. We're going to look at like figures of Colonel Braddock's from Missing in Action, and on and on and on and on and on. So yeah.
Well,
we're going to talk
here's my proposition to you. Either start with Commando or I send you a DJ action figure.
I guess I'm getting a DJ action figure. No, there's no Commando in that. And then we're going to talk about this new Hasbro animated streaming service. We're probably going to talk a little bit about Lenny and his departure from Hasbro, where I might get a little more savage about it because it's just me, right? When it's just me, I let it fly. But when it's me and other people, I tend to tone it down a little bit. So that's what we're doing tomorrow.
Right. Again, guys, get your seatbelts on, bring your favorite beverage, and sit down because it's locked and loaded. It's always a good time on Sundays, and you get nothing but the truth on that channel. So make sure you guys are definitely tuning in.
That's right.
And most definitely. And for us over here, hey man, we appreciate everybody that was tuning in. The other night we were over on Toy Habits, and we were dealing with the Toy Sorceress. And there's an app that's hitting. We're going to be going out to Moto Universe at the end of May, and a little something that the fine guys have been working on called Toy Hunter. So if you've ever seen Toy Hunter, it's a collector's lifestyle app, and pretty much like keep a track of your collections when you're at all these great toy store shows. You can actually negotiate. You ever get to a show and you figured out, all right, do I actually own this character? Well, you've got your collection in your hand. Or if you think it's like, should I pay that much for that G1 Megatron? Or is he charging me too much? Well, you can actually search and get sold eBay prices and current eBay prices. So you'll actually have a negotiating tool in your hand. There's a feature called Radar. Every great convention that's in the southern United States, all over the place, it's all in there. In fact, DFW Con's in there as well. You can actually link into that, save it, and it will tell you conventions within your radius. So if you're in like 10 miles of a convention, it'll tell you that too. Toy Hunter is the overall collecting app that you should be using. Go to toyhunter.com. It's available on iOS and Android. And we were over at Toy Habits the other day with the great Mega J Retro. My favorite dish.
Moto Universe.
That should be a shirt too. But Yeah, it says we definitely mean dogs and chats nickname. I heard. Wow. I don't know about that. But
No,
you know, definitely.
my band name is Mad Dog Chad.
Oh, okay, but there you go. We got it.
There's a whole long story as to why, but yeah, that was cool. You guys got to hang out with the Toy Habits folks. They're always freaking awesome. I talk to Michael not as regularly as I like to. We like to play phone tag, but
yeah, no, he went to WrestleMania. So he was at WrestleMania. Toy Source was holding it down with Mega J Retro, and they were all getting ready for this convention again. Multi Universe and Toy Hunter will be the chosen app of that convention. So we're looking forward to that. And again, you guys can catch us over on the Shadowe Knows Network on Wednesdays and Fridays, and then once a month here with It's Chad streaming on both channels for So again, so guys, what were we saying? It's Duke and Transformers Volume 1. Is that the thing that everybody needs to get caught up for next month?
Yep.
Yes.
Duke Volume 1 and Transformers Volume 1.
And then I guess we gotta hit it cold with who's our favorite Joe and what's your favorite Joe vehicle?
There you go. Okay.
Joe vehicle, not Cobra. I don't want to hear fuck Cobra. Fuck.
No Cobra. G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe. All right, man. Always a great time hanging out with you guys and everything. Love an extra Saturday, but I'm looking forward. Again, my seatbelt will be buckled for tomorrow because it's going to be a wild ride. And I always love those Sunday shows because it sets my week right.
Who is your daddy and what does he do? All right, Chet, you're in control, my man. So
yes, sir. All right, thanks everyone. We appreciate you. This is fun for us. We hope it's fun for you. Hopefully you learned something. And like we said, next one is going to be Duke Volume 1 and Transformers Volume 1. So get caught up. Come with your favorite pages, scenes you want us to go over, thoughts, any questions. We're going to be going over all of that. So until next time, thank you everybody, and we'll see you again real soon. Keep chasing the plastic dragon. Talk to you later.